Hello, I'm Jonathan Dunsky, author of the Adam Lapid series and the Payback Girl. Today I'd like to give you a powerful writing tip that can help you overcome writer's block and get unstuck in your writing. And the trick is that you don't have to write the book like the reader is going to read it. So how does a reader read a book? They open on the first page and they read all the pages in sequence to the end. But you as the writer don't have to write that way. You don't have to write all the scenes and all the chapters in order. You can become free in time and free in the manuscript that you're writing. You can jump ahead, you can jump backward, you can go wherever you want until you finish the entire book. So why is this trick powerful? The reason is that often when you're writing a book, you start out with an idea in mind and then you write a few chapters and then you sort of get stuck. You don't know how the book is supposed to proceed. You're not sure how it's supposed to go on. And you can find yourself staring at the screen, unsure of where to go for a very long time. But often, you do have an idea or a sense of where the story is supposed to go after that particular moment in which you're stuck. For instance, in book 4 of the Adam Lapid series, A Debt of Death, my protagonist, Adam Lapid, found himself trapped under a heavy piece of machinery with the villain of the story in a powerful position. So if Adam got out of that spot, he would likely be dead very soon. And I did not know how to extricate Adam Lapid from that predicament. But I did know what is supposed to happen after he does succeed in overcoming this villain. So I just jumped ahead and wrote the scene that came after the point in which I was stuck and proceeded a few scenes or a few chapters ahead of that. And only when I finished that scene or those chapters did I go back and fill in the gaps. And I found that to be very easy because my subconscious continued to work on the problem of how to extricate Adam Lapid sort of in the background of my mind. I didn't have to put a lot of effort into it. I just needed to believe that if I let things go and thought about something else and did something else, my subconscious would provide the solution, and it did. And I did this a few times since then, and it works wonders. Now you may ask, Jonathan, why shouldn't I just outline the entire book in advance and then I won't have this problem? Well, if you can do that, good for you. I'm envious because I've never been able to outline a book in my life. I've written 8 of them, but none of them had been planned in advance. I've tried several methods of outlining and have never been successful in any of them. I need to be inside the story in order to discover it. So I discover the story as I go along. As I write, more and more things become clear to me. And I sort of discover the book just like the characters in the book do. I just go places and then I see things and the story emerges from that experience. And there are other authors like me who just aren't able to outline. And in addition, there are authors who don't like to outline because the fun of writing is discovering the story as they go along. If they outline and know where the story is going, now they have to write 300 pages, it would be boring for them. They don't have any enjoyment of that. So they choose to write without planning. So if you're one of those people who can outline and still have fun writing, good for you. Keep doing what works for you. But if you're not one of those writers and you sometimes get stuck as you're writing, try to think of what comes after the point in which you're stuck. What's the next scene? What's the next chapter? And try to write that. And often you'll find that as you write what happens next, it will become clear to you what has to happen between the point in which you're stuck and the point in which you have already written what comes next. And then it will be quite easy to fill in the middle. So this is just one tip to keep in mind. Will it solve all kinds of writer's block, all sorts of problems of writers getting stuck in their stories? No, it doesn't. I get stuck in my writing all the time, in every book that I write. But this is one trick that has worked for me, and I think it's worth a try. So keep it in your toolbox and try it out the next time you get stuck in your story.